Assalamu alaikum, welcome to 1 Minute Fiqh. Today's question is on caffeine. Is caffeine prohibited because caffeine is a stimulant? Some things are stimulants, it doesn't mean they're prohibited. Prohibition takes a ruling based on the effect that ingredient has on the body. So effects that are clearly destructive, like for example if you were to take arsenic or cyanide, then there's a clear prohibition on that. Hard drugs, cocaine, marijuana, opium and all these things, there's a clear detriment that happens very quickly. So there's an understanding of why that would be prohibited. Caffeine and tobacco, we're not talking about the harms of tobacco here, I'm talking about just the stimulant, nicotine, because you can have that nicotine separate. They're mild stimulants. So unless they don't overtake your life, then it becomes very problematic. But if you're taking a mild stimulant like caffeine or there's like the betel nut and things like that, if you were to take them in ways that wouldn't harm your body, obviously caffeine, the only way to take it is to drink, then there's no problem with that. Caffeine has never been forbidden. In fact, in the early period of Islam, it was not understood very well, the properties of caffeine and what caffeine does. And yeah, there were some ulama that came down very strong on it. And like in Mecca at one point, coffee shops, anybody caught at a coffee shop was whipped by the mufti because they didn't understand it. Later on, when they began to understand it, it was so sought after that it was the obligatory part of a woman's dowry in the Ottoman lands. A certain amount of coffee needed to be given. And in the West, that's what there is evidence cited that what got the Europeans moving from their lethargy and everything was the drinking of tea and coffee, which gave them the stimulus they needed to get moving from their moist, damp, cold environments, dark environments. So caffeine is not forbidden. If you've got the only time where it would become problematic for you is if you've got heart conditions, hypertension and stuff like that, and then you deliberately drink coffee, to the extent that it causes you palpitations and it could lead you into the danger zone, then that becomes problematic and becomes disliked. But caffeine is not forbidden because it doesn't come under the same category as other drugs do.